Well, hello there YouTubers, this is P here. Going to be quickly reviewing this new radio that I've recently purchased. So, it is the Quansheng UV-K6 or Quansheng UV-K5 bracket 8 bracket. So it comes under two names. This is currently, I paid £18 for it. The UV-K5 version of this, that is going for anywhere from £11 to £15 on AliExpress. So when you turn it on, it has this bright orange screen. Good radios, don't get me wrong. It does airband. This is the stock antenna that it has. There's no one trying, it won't pick anyone up at the minute. It's quiet because it's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. But this is an 8-band radio. So if I press, go into there and then press number 1, function and 1, I'll show you now. So function 1, you can't really see because of the backlight, but function 1, there you go. This, they say on the AliExpress listing that it has, what does it have? It has an upgraded clear voice speaker. Now I can see they've got rid of the tinniness a little bit on it, but you can't, it's hard to tell. I used to have the UV-K5, would have just got rid of it to someone who didn't want to order off AliExpress. So this one is mainly just the front looks better. They've moved the activity light. I don't understand why they say this, but it's got a Type-C port. They say they do not recommend to charge via the Type-C port, charge only via the dock. I've misplaced my dock at the moment, so I charge via the USB on the side, and I've had no issues up to now, touch wood, and it seems to do the job. So airband is not very good on this on both models. I've not got the other one to compare, but they're both scratchy, hard to understand. Now I have, if you bear with me, sorry for bad camera, I have this one, right? So let me do a switch. So this one is a Sennheiser 8800 with a massive antenna on it, right? So if I go, that's probably dead. Oh no, I've left it turned on. So if I go 118.575, this picks up airband way better.
Vectors I left 5 left.
You see, you can hear the airband so much better on this one. Then you can program this one via Bluetooth. I'll make a separate video about this one. So if I just, so you heard that one. So if I just change the antenna, turn this one off, and put this beast of an antenna on, just to see if it picks up. VFO. I'm trying to find a channel. That was a quick shot. Oh, you can't hear that. It's scratchy and horrible, but this one picks up way better. You can just about make out, but it's not a radio you can leave and listen to it in the background. You've got to be right next to it to be able to understand what it's saying. So with these are like a UV-K5 killer. So they've come out with 2 versions, and this new version, all they've done is change the screen and move that LED, so when you transmit and receive that LED there. So basically that's what it sounds like, and you can't really understand it at all, but it's a lovely radio. I prefer the buttons of it, and it charges via USB. They say don't charge it via USB, which I don't understand, but that's really it. You can unlock others. So if I go into this sub menu now and just so you can unlock transmit. I've got to wait for the backlight to go off a minute. The backlight only stays on for 5 seconds. So on there, if I press menu, right, you can't see with this camera. There, quick, before it goes off. It says 500 TX. So basically what that means is you can go through the menu and have a look at the different TX modes, and you can unlock TX on other frequencies as well. So 200, 500, and you can listen on 350 EN, 350 TX. You can unlock that as well. So it's got NOAA stations if you're in America, so 10 weather stations. It does do, so if I go into here, there we go. Yeah, that's funny. So when something comes through, it turns off the FM, but the FM works fantastic. FM just like music radio stations. So I would recommend it for a cheap radio you want to throw in your bag with USB charging. I've not had an issue, touch wood, yet. So it seems to charge fine by USB. I need to find my dock somewhere for it, but yeah, it's got standard SMA male connection on the top, and then you got your torch on the top, and this is what it looks like, you know. So there's the pins on the back to put it in the dock, and it's got standard programming lead and headphone port, which works fantastic. So I'm excited to see what Quansheng bring out. It's a new company that's come onto the market and gone, right, we can do one better than a UV-5R, which is the Baofeng standard. There's 20, 30, 40 different models, I can't count, of how many different versions of Baofengs there is. There's the dual band Baofengs, there's UHF only Baofengs, there's Baofengs with no screens, there's DMR Baofengs. I give up. So it's just my quick intake on this radio. Just thought I'd show you off this radio. Lovely radio. You can have a message on the home screen when you turn it on. It says what it is. But the only downside to this radio is that there's a manufacturing fault with this radio. The screen is not level. So the screen. So if I hold it level to you, there to the camera, you can see it's slightly not. When they've installed the screen, it's slightly not straight. Weird. I don't know if that can be adjusted, but it's just a little thing I noticed. I was looking at it and like, the text is slightly slanted. Yeah, because the screen's not straight. It's the only downside. But what do you expect for the price? I paid 18 quid for this one because it's the new model. The UV-K5 is at the minute it's just over £11 on AliExpress. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like to know anything else about this, it's just like 8 meters, 6 meters, and you can have 200 channels. So that's a downside. Only 200 channels, so you can easily fill them up. I've filled this halfway up, about 100 channels on it so far. And if you add all the 6 meters, the 2 meters, 70 cents, if you add all the channels in from the different bands, you'd easily fill it up. But oh, another good feature, press F and number 4 and it comes up with a frequency scanner. So if I transmit from one radio, it will tell me. So that's there. So I go on this one and transmit. You can see it tells me what the frequency is. There, 4385124, and then you can save that directly into the radio, and then plug into the PC and edit the name. So that's a good thing. Another good feature is air copy. So press and hold this button and this button, PTT and the bottom button, whilst turning it on, and it goes into a mode called air copy. I'll wait for the light to go off. There you go. Air copy. See that? So basically you can send all what's in this to another Quansheng, the same model, the UV-K6 or K5. And doing that allows your mates to be able to have the radio, and they don't even have to be sat next to you, have all the frequencies, in their radio. So they could be sat the other side of town or other side of the city, and you can whap it over by the air, pick an empty frequency, and away you go. There's a lot of good features with this. I've probably missed some, but it's a really good radio to smash the Bayefengs. You know, I love the design. I'm just looking at it right now, and I'm just impressed. This is a standard antenna that you get with it, so you get this nice standard antenna. There we go, and that standard antenna works really well. I've got other antennas. This is a dual band, yeah. I've got a Bayefeng antenna there. I've got this antenna, which I could use, which is slightly smaller, as you can see. But any dual band antenna will be fine. If you want better range, I recommend upgrading the antenna. This is a tactical antenna, absolutely crazy tactical antenna. Dual band antenna, but I'll put the original one back on for now. It didn't fit, so I had to shave the antenna at the bottom, trim it because it didn't fit. That's my local repeater kicking in. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video, and just telling you all about this radio. Would I recommend it? Totally. If you're after a cheap radio that has multiple different bands, then this is the one to go for. There's also firmware modifications that people have made to where you can listen in all the way down to 18. So it's 18 megahertz all the way up to 460 megahertz, or is it 560? I don't know. Big massive range, opens it up even more, but use that at your own risk. I've got the standard firmware on here because I don't want to break my radio. I have tried the modded firmware only for listening. Do not transmit on it, because you will be transmitting all over the bands and harmonics will be everywhere and whatnot. But I listened down and I could hear stuff all the way down to 18. You know, CB frequencies basically, you know. So cracking radio, totally recommend it. If you want to do the firmware modification that people have made, that's at your own risk. But for the if you just use the standard firmware, because they brought a new version firmware out, works fine. The speaker sounds clear on it, the audio sounds good on it, and it's a good radio. Cheap, cheerful, and I'd recommend it. If you drop it, don't worry. It's £18 or whatever the price is. It keeps fluctuating. You can go out and buy another one. I'd recommend buy two. If you're going to buy one, buy two. Give one to a friend, and you can talk on PMR 446, which is license free, 16 channels. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video. Totally recommend it. This has been M7AQI for Mighty P's unboxing and reviews. Take care, guys.